Rich Cangemi, Megro Construction, back out here at our Redington Beach project. You can see we've got block work going here today. And some of the things is we've got a subcontract crew out here, about 20 guys, so pretty good sized crew. They're going to roll through this fairly quickly. There's some things that we're looking for to make sure that they're happening. And one of those is we want to make sure that these reinforcements are being properly overlapped. So the plans call for a 36-inch overlap. So when these guys go ahead and they fill these cells, they're going to place that bar in there and get those bars tied off properly. We want to make sure also around all of the openings, like here, windows, that we have a vertical cell that's filled.
Same there.
So we can see our positioning of this bar is wrong. So these two bars are placed in the wrong cells. So in this particular case, we're going to need, there's two options here, and either of them are fine. We can go ahead and bend this bar. I think there's a certain percentage that the code will allow you to bend, or we can use an epoxy fix, which is basically we're going to drill a hole down into that cell and go ahead and use an epoxy resin. We prefer, because it's stronger, to make this turn. Okay, so that's the solution that we've asked the subcontractor here to make happen in this particular case. So in this case, we'll get these bars straight down here, and in this section here they'll turn and they'll be tied off, so we'll get that proper overlap splice that we're looking for. So that has to happen, and we're going to look for that throughout this this masonry wall construction project. A couple other key points. We called for a piece of rebar, steel, at every point where there's a window opening. So they'll be placing that in under the sill. You can see this material here. This material is designed to manage the shrinking, okay? It's structural in so much that it helps to keep these walls from checking, and this little bit of steel is put in every other course of the wall. So this looks like a lattice, but basically it's a masonry reinforcement system. There's a bunch of manufacturers that make it, and it's essentially would help to manage. If you've ever seen the side of a masonry wall where there's some checking, this helps to prevent that. We come around this other side. These right here are designed to span these openings. So we've got a patio back here, we've got a wide open spaces. The idea here is we want to capture the view, right? So the architect and the designers have really made this house you know, around that concept. So we've got these precast basically beams that are designed to span these. Now, they won't do it all by themselves, and as we go and we'll take a look at these drawings in 1 second, we'll see that we've got to place a bar in the bottom of this, and there's also additional reinforcements that are required depending on the size of the opening. So let's go take a look at that. You take a look at this drawing right here. You'll see this is the reinforcement schedule for the openings. And you'll see that in each of these cases, these openings are engineered in a certain configuration, and that configuration is a bar here, a half block, a full block, half block, a full block. In the larger openings, we're going to have 2 full blocks, and this additional concrete and the spacing of the bars is going to help to basically carry that load. So these are very important structural considerations. And we'll actually get up on these scaffolding and we'll check the configuration of those bars to make sure that these guys are doing the work as it has to be done according to the plan. So those are some of the important things. You want to make sure that there's somebody supervising these types of efforts. In addition to the reinforcements, you'll see these other cutouts. Those are for flood vents, so they're designed to be there, and that's required in this coastal construction, is that we have those. And there's actually a product we're using, it's called a smart vent, and that vent will go on those. They'll be placed in there when we get closer to finishing this wall. That'll go ahead and open if it floods, so we'll get the pressure of any water equalized from the outside to the inside, so that we won't have any catastrophes in the event that the water rises in this area in a storm. So completely designed system. Those are really neat vents, and in fact we'll take a look at one of those in just 1 minute. Okay, here's that smart vent we were just talking about, and essentially this is a stainless steel vent, and it's a very, very neat concept here. It basically flips open and allows the flood waters to kind of move and equalize. It's designed in such a way that it has switches that are float switches. So as we look at this particular vent will only open if there's floodwater, so it basically floats. When the water comes up, it opens. And these are really neat because it does not take a lot of these to cover the requirements. So if we were to do standard masonry construction, what a lot of guys will do is they'll just put screening material in that. You're going to have many more of these openings. With this technology, this smaller hole covers a much bigger square footage of floor space. So we're able to put less holes in the masonry, keep the integrity of the building in place, and still get the same amount of flood coverage. So a really neat product. We like it. We chose the unpainted finish, so that'll give us the most flexibility on colors down the road. And these will blend in. You won't even notice them. You do have to be really careful. You can't paint these, and the reason why you can't paint them is they still have to function. So, you know, if you paint them shut, they're not going to work right. So it's a very important consideration when you're ordering these. They will color match them if you want to go ahead and go that route. Otherwise, they are painted in the factory. You know, never painted in the field. So very new technology. It's been around for a number of years, but you're going to see, I think, more and more of these in coastal construction.